So before this video gets started, if you are an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, or a gig worker and you want paid time off, if you want paid time off, sick leave, you want protection if you get into accidents, if you want income protection, if you want protection if you ever get deactivated, hospitalized, if you ever do get deactivated and you want your account back as well, there's a brand new company that just launched and they got $1.6 million in funding. They're doing same day cash transfers to drivers, to gig workers for, paid time off, all that stuff. If you want that, the company's called Cover. And if you use my link down below, you get 30 days for free. It does start at $7 a month. But again, if you use my link, you get 30 days for free. No commitments, no annual contracts. You can cancel and pause at any time. The company's called Cover. At least check it out. At least click my link down below and accept that gift of 30 days for free. And now let's get on to the video. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name's Dylan. Thank you so much for coming by. So in today's video, we're talking about an Uber driver who was sentenced to prison for hitting a pedestrian while driving. It's a very sad story. It's kind of in question about whose fault it really was at. Was it an Uber's fault? Was it the driver's fault? And I know what you're thinking, Dylan, it's definitely the driver's fault, but you would be surprised at what actually happened in this case. Obviously, the pedestrian always has the right of way. So if you could hit the thumbs up button, that would really help me out, because this is, if you hit the thumbs up button, more people can see this video, gets pushed out to a larger audience, and more people can see this story, because I do think it is very, very important for everybody to understand the risk that goes into being an Uber driver. If you're an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, if you just like making money, please hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe. We're almost getting close to 50,000 subscribers. That would be an awesome milestone to hit. So if you could subscribe, and also check out all the links down below. If you want to make more money as a driver, or just in any way, there's a bunch of different new ways to make money. I keep updating the descriptions all the time. I go back in all my old videos. I spend hours going through and updating all the videos with new ways to make money. So you can trust me that all the links down below are the freshest and best ways to make money right now. Side hustle, income, increase your income, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's hop right into this. Here we go. This is on usatoday.com. So I did talk about this briefly in the past, but I want to talk about it again because there was a big update, and I think we all need to take a look at this. So Uber's safety driver charged with negligent homicide in 2018 fatal crash of self-driving cars. So again, like I talked about in the beginning, this is the question. Was it Uber's fault or the driver's fault? Because this car is a self-driving car. The car should have been, basically the driver was a test driver. He was testing out Uber's car, right? Uber's self-driving technology. As we all know, maybe you don't know, but Uber and Lyft are planning to go driverless. They've been planning this for years. They've always planned to, I went to UC Berkeley, I graduated there, and I studied technology and entrepreneurship, and I was at a conference there, and Uber spoke there. This was a little over a year ago now, and they said, they had a whole conference on self-driving cars, and Uber was talking about, yes, we're working on self-driving cars. They're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on self-driving cars. Even Tesla is spending money on self-driving cars. Elon Musk said, oh, by 2021, we're going to have 1 million robo-taxis on the streets. I don't know if that's, accurate, but I also bought a Tesla, and while I was there, they were talking about how if you go on Tesla's website, you can't buy a used car that's, I believe it's 2017 or 2018. The only used cars I don't know. They might have changed it, but for a really long time, for almost over a year, every single time somebody returned their lease, or trade their car back in, they are just keeping all of those cars in a warehouse preparing for the robo-taxis. They're taking all the used cars and they're preparing them for robo-taxis. It's happening, guys. So whether you like it or not, Tesla is you know, they almost have 1 million cars that they're planning to release anytime soon. Lyft, even in 2016, again, when I was at UC Berkeley, they said in a conference there, wow, almost 4 years ago now, they said by 2021, every single Lyft car, I was there, I heard her say it, she said every single Lyft car, this was a huge Lyft executive, she said every single Lyft car by 2021 will be self-driving. She said there will be no drivers anymore, every single car will be driverless. She said that. Did that happen? No. But it just goes to show they're really working on this. So let's take a look at this. I'm not saying that I think, you know, every single car should be self-driving or not. I'm just, you know, talking about the reality that these 3 companies, even Apple and Amazon, all of these companies are investing millions and millions and millions of dollars into self-driving technology. And I just want to make this claim, the only reason Uber and Lyft are still, you know, functioning companies is because these huge investors are investing millions of dollars into Uber and Lyft just for the sole purpose that they think that they will be driverless in the future. Everybody's just betting on all of these companies, Waymo. Everyone's pouring millions and millions of dollars into these companies, hoping that one of them will be, will win the race to self-driving. The woman operating a self-driving Uber that hit and killed a pedestrian in Phoenix, Arizona in March 2018 is facing a negligent homicide charge and possible prison time for not controlling the vehicle, prosecutors said Tuesday. It was the first fatality involving a self-driving vehicle in the country. This is the first death from a self-driving car. This is literally why it was her fault, the driver's fault. Rafaela Vasquez. She was watching The Voice. She was watching TV while supposedly operating the vehicle. Now, I don't know what Uber told her to do or what her, you know, functions were. I'm assuming she was in the car for hours and hours and hours on end. And she decided, oh, I'll just throw on The Voice and watch TV while I'm supposed to be, you know, making sure this car is driving itself. I mean, people play around in the self-driving cars all the time. You might have seen people vlogging, people, you know, big YouTubers. So many people have Teslas now, and Teslas are self-driving. They'll just put it in self-driving mode, and they're literally vlogging, hanging out with their buddies, partying. There's a lot. I mean, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I used to work at a hotel. I worked in valet, and I worked in the office there, and there was so many times where I was just watching TV because there was literally nothing else to do. And you know, I'm not saying like, whatever, I guess I technically probably shouldn't have been paid for it. We've all slacked off on the job, right? I was working during the middle of the World Cup, and I was watching FIFA games while I was working. You know, I wasn't 100% focused on my job. You know, the FIFA games were on too. So, but at the same time, when you're operating a vehicle, distracted driving is an issue of great importance in our community, Maricopa County Attorney Alistair Adele said Tuesday in a prepared statement. When a driver gets behind the wheel of a car, they have a responsibility to control and operate that vehicle safely and in a law-abiding manner. The reason this is tricky is because it's not just a normal car. It's a self-driving car. The car is literally designed to drive on its own. And so this is a totally new case though, like a new type of case. The dangerous class 4 felony could bring a sentence of 4 to 8 years in prison if she is convicted. According to Jennifer Lear, a spokeswoman for the attorney's office, Vasquez pleaded not guilty Tuesday and was released to pretrial services with ankle monitoring. Uber declined to comment about the charge on Tuesday. Attorney for Vasquez could not immediately be reached. Initially, then Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery. I mean, you're watching The Voice. How do you plead not guilty? You obviously were not paying attention. I even think it said that she was barely even looking up from her phone or whatever, from her laptop. I think the person was on a laptop. Wow, this article is so difficult to read. There's so many ads in here. Multiple investigations. The Volvo was traveling about 43 miles per hour. The radar cameras had light detecting and raging, picking up Herzberg 6 seconds before the collision. But the computer initially couldn't determine what she was. The self-driving system software classified the pedestrian as an unknown object, as a vehicle, and then as a bicycle, the report said. The software also couldn't immediately tell which way she was headed. Finally, 1.3 seconds before the impact, the self-driving system determined that the vehicle needed to apply the brakes to avoid a collision, but it didn't stop automatically. Only Vasquez could stop the vehicle because of adjustments Uber made during testing. So Uber put all of the adjustments on the driver. So the driver basically gets a notification from the car saying you need to apply the brakes. In 1.3 seconds, you're looking down, watching the voice. You look up, maybe, there's no way you can react in 1.3 seconds. Uber had taken away the ability for the self-driving car to brake itself in emergencies, although it could do so at light and stop signs. Investigators later looked at the speed of the car, braking ability, lighting conditions, and Vasquez's half-second reaction time once she did see Herzberg. Had Vasquez been paying attention, they found she could have stopped the car 42.6 feet before the impact. But Vasquez never touched the brake until after the crash. The crash would not have happened even with a driver whose reaction time was twice as slow as Vasquez, had the driver been watching the road. For these reasons, Tempe detective Casey Marsland wrote in the avoidability analysis more than a year ago, the crash was deemed entirely avoidable. So they pretty much, based on the fact that the data, that it was technically the driver's fault. I mean, look, if Uber honestly, it's really tough to say, but at the same time, I have to kind of side with Uber on this one, is because, they knew that their technology was new. It was a testing car. They had a driver behind the wheel. The driver should have been paying attention, in my opinion, not sitting down watching the voice, especially in the middle of at night. Because she was behind the wheel, she has ultimate control. It's still on her to protect the public and protect her fellow citizens who are walking across the streets in this case. Ultimately, Uber in the vehicle was the one that messed up. He said her job was to be behind the wheel, just monitoring the situation, and you could argue the state is overcharging her. You could be on the road now and make a mistake and hit somebody and not get charged with a felony offense. Yeah, I mean, the defense could argue she was not negligent because operating the car was in the scope of her duties for Uber. Yeah, I mean, yeah, plain and simple, she should have been paying attention, right? But at the same time, she just put too much trust on the car's self-driving capability. I know that when I've driven a self-driving car, I've driven a Tesla before. I have owned a Tesla. I rented one, I bought one, and then I rented a different model. So I've driven 3 different types of Teslas. Every single time I've used a self-driving technology, I cannot trust that thing. I'm literally like, shoot, it's gonna mess up, it's gonna mess up, it's gonna mess up. This person was just like, self-drive it, take it away, I'm watching the voice. That's it for today's story. Again, check out the links down below. There's a bunch of good links down there. If you're a driver, Uber driver, or just wanna make more money, check out the links down below. Thank you for watching today's video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day and stay safe out there. Bye, guys.